Hello and welcome back to our Pokemon Soulstones 2 playthrough. We're here on part number 14, and last episode we made it to what I assume is the top of the Telescopium Academy. We went ahead and saw the Spirit Ghost pop up a few times while we collected a bunch of books and battled our way through. I did make one mistake, however. Also, I'm going to be coughing a little bit, sorry. I had my COVID vaccine, and I feel like it kind of messed up my lungs for a couple days, which is why there has been a lack of uploads for a few days, but I'm feeling mostly better, so we're getting back into it. One thing I did forget to do is while I was going through, I got very stuck on side quests, and there were a bunch of these books with these chapters, which I think was super important for going ahead and getting Kara to be complete in her main quest. I got very focused on the side quest. I do this thing a lot in video games where I get really stuck in a side quest. This is a wild Pokemon battle, just so you don't get alarmed like I'm progressing story. I get stuck in trying to do side quests first, because I'm worried that they're going to be, you know, booted out and not become possible if I don't do them before the main story quest. So I always try and do side quests first, and I forgot about the main story quest. So I'm going to run back through, and I'm going to go back from the beginning, and I'm going to click on, like, every spot imaginable. If I complete a quest, I will, you know, cut to when that happens. If it's just a book, I'm just gonna leave it out, and we should be back at Kara momentarily. Floatzel Operating Manual. This is one that I needed. Wait, is there books right beside her that she hasn't grabbed? Wait. This is one of the books the grader was looking for. I think I'm only missing a few. Maybe they're right here. This might be one side quest. This is chapter 1. Okay, is this important? The book abstract speaks of the creation myth, how the multiverse came to be. I'm not reading everything in this. I'm gonna skim read it. The creation trio. They have a lot of conflict. Yeah, they do. Talks about Arceus and the creation trio. Kara will want to read this. I should bring this book to her. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and grab all of those. Okay. That's my bad for forgetting. That's my bad for forgetting about that. Probopass versus Weavile, Warrior Legacy. This is also a book that she needs. These are right beside her. That was the last of the books Grader was searching for. That's good, because I'm right beside her, so I like that. Side quest complete. Be found by books yet? Oh, bless your soul. You saved me hours of work trying to find these books in this place. Please, take this as a thank you on behalf of the Academy. A heart scale. Okay, I like heart scales. And some money. That's fine. I always want to do side quests first, because I'm always afraid there's going to be some event that happens, like a horde of rampaging Infernape comes through the Academy with their own new telescopes, and they wreck the place, and then they put their own new telescopes in place, and then this becomes unavailable. Is that going to happen? Probably not, but I'm afraid it's going to happen. Oh, and chapter 2 is here as well. Okay. Hello, Spirit. I just saw a goodie. I can't believe I didn't trigger that one first. That thing is freaking out. I thought we were progressing it along at the top. But maybe it's at a completely different spot to where I thought. We'll see. I'll focus on the books first, though. Book chapter 3. Chapter 4. I'm just going to give you, like, a snippet of where each of them are. Just in case anyone is using this as, like, a guide to go through with. Chapter 5, directly beneath Chapter 4. Okay, nice. Chapter 6. Okay, these are all in order as well, so it's pretty easy to tell. Ooh, Riolu. I am going to catch this. I'm going to catch this. We're going to go to Wellesley, who is a dark type, for the psychic type Riolu. I'm going to give it a quick nuzzle. And we are going to go ahead and catch this, because I am interested in seeing what this new type of Lucario is. It is also just a Pokemon that I kind of like. I feel like it's worthy of a Great Ball. I wish I had like a Luxury Ball or a Friend Ball. Friend Ball is ideal because it just gives you like 200 base friendship with the Pokemon, which is nice. Could have a different evolution method though, we'll see. Pokemon trains daily in honing its power through the mystic arts. It is thought that Riolu first appeared after falling from a wormhole to another dimension. You, my friend, you are Dubert. That's what you're being called. We're calling you Dubert. Are you garbage because I gave you a horrible name? Adamant nature could be good, could be awful, depending on whether it's a physical or special attacker. Given that Lucario in general is usually a special attacker, by like 5 points, but still, usually a special attacker with cool moves like Aura Sphere, probably would be better to be a modest nature. Does have magic bounce, which is interesting. That we might be able to use in some situations if we're ever in a fight where they are setting up a lot of status on our team. We'll see, we'll see. More options is always good for a game like this. Charisma. Okay, I did pay enough attention. I was skim reading it. One of the passwords is charisma. Okay. Report to Kyra on the upper floor of the Telescopium Academy with this password you have now obtained. I will do that. I will do that. That is important. We do have a few more books to find, though, so we will see if we can grab chapter... I think I still need chapter 7, 8, 9? Well, that's chapter 7, and this is the last area, so we should have all of the remaining books right here. Chapter 8... A Cosmic Web. Again, I apologize for not going through every single one of these, but, you know, there's a lot to this game. The story is cool. I do like the story. However, I am here for fully retyped Pokemon and interesting battles. That is the reason that I am here. Lore is second to me. I do recommend that if you are playing the game or watching for lore, I would recommend playing it yourself in moments like this. Just because, you know, there is a lot... Oh! I'm also here for this. I'm here for cool side quests. You couldn't leave well enough alone. It's time to chase you out of here once and for all. The spirit challenges you to a battle. Ah, we're getting all of the wrap-ups of our side quests and stuff. Psychic Ghost Esper, my curse upon you. We've been cursed to lower my attacking stats. I do still have a 4 times super effective bite. And I'm worried that it would still KO. In fact, I'm almost certain it would still KO. I want to go for a bite and take it down to 1 HP and then catch it. Also, I don't know if there's ever a world where I'm going to use an Esper. No, at the moment, I'm still interested in setting up a grassy terrain team, which I know I haven't done yet. I might do that after the academy. We'll see. I'll have a bit more time now. I'm going to go for a bite. We'll see if it lives. If it lives, yeah, okay, it didn't live. If it lived, I would have considered it, but at the moment, I don't see myself using an Esper. Even if it is already level 22, it's not a Pokemon I would put on the team. Pokemon it was possessing passed away too. Oh. Well, at least the spirit is dealt with. Yippee! You put down the spirit that was tormenting the academy. You may return to the monk that is waiting outside the academy for your reward. Okay, let's go ahead and set myself back to a more reasonable speed, and let's see if this information is everything. Have you learned anything useful, Carlos? Actually, as a matter of fact, I've learned a fair bit from speaking to the acolytes in the academy and reading some of the books here. You share with Kara and Artie all the information you've learned about the Priestess Sienna, the excommunication from the cult, the brief times you read explaining the creation myth, the origin, the first regent, and the Great Fracture. You recount what you learned about the Origin Cult in particular, and Angelo's upbringing in the Origin Cult, his thirst for knowledge, and how he came to be obsessed with the sigils of creation. You conclude by telling Kara and Artie about Angelo's banishment from the Academy as well, and how it is suspected that he is the puppet master leader of the Ethereal Guild operating from the shadows. I remember all of that from last episode, yep. Finally, the last of the lessons you learned relate to the Time Matrix, the anomalies, and the ley lines. You also share the password to the headquarters that you found from the acolytes. Yep, we did see that a second ago. It's charisma. And the one you found written down in one of the books you read. That one I don't remember. That one I did skim past, actually. Oops. This is incredible good work, Carlos. I'm so glad these acolytes were useful. This has been a great lead. We now know a lot more about Angelo in this timeline anyway. Regarding everything that was written down in those books, I'm fascinated this was all written down in the way it was. When I became a town warden, we were basically thrust into this duty, and we didn't really know what was expected of us. Hanafi and I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to our colleagues before we swiftly escaped our deaths. But never mind that. That's not important right now. This information helps fill in a lot of the gaps in my own personal knowledge. Thank you for bringing me these books. I shall read them in more detail. These abstracts have certainly helped point me in the right direction of what I must do next. Time Warden Kara, we also have the passwords to the headmaster's quarters. Do we want to go speak with him? Yes. Good work on finding these passwords, Carlos. I'm glad they didn't make me input them. I'm glad they were just like, hey, you found them, good job, because I only remembered one of them, apparently. I wasn't expecting anyone to be able to disturb me during my meditation. Intriguing. I must inquire as to how you determined the passwords to my quarters to disturb me during my meditation. Surely the others would have told you that I was not to be disturbed during my meditation. Pardon, Headmaster, but we come to you because we seek information. The pursuit of knowledge, haha. Information, you say? Information on what, pray tell? This information must be of critical importance that you would disturb an old man's wishes when he explicitly requested to be left in solace, so he could pray and contemplate his actions in front of his gods. Okay, alright, Jesus, just say that you wanted some alone time. We all need alone time, you can be honest. It is on this subject itself, Headmaster, that we seek your knowledge. We believe you are the only one that has some of this knowledge, because you were the last person to see Angelo alive. I haven't heard that name in years. I suppose that's because many of the other acolytes that are still in the academy from when Angelo walked these halls know better than to say that man's name in front of me. I question why those talkative fools, in their infinite wisdom, chose to not share that specific piece of information with you. Angelo is dead to me. He was my greatest failure. He changed me. I don't wish to speak about this man to anyone, least of all complete strangers such as yourself. Please, Headmaster, tell us what you know. We believe that he has a mission that threatens the very integrity of the world. Indeed. I told myself that I would go to the grave before I told anyone of my transgressions. You want me to tell you what I know? Prove to me that you are worthy of the knowledge. In a Pokemon battle! I know it. It always is, isn't it? It's always a Pokemon battle. Alright, let's see how this goes. We have a pretty strange team right now. We don't have any, like, real theme. Trick Room. One of the acolytes did have Trick Room on the floor below, so that makes some sense to me. Do we want to swap out for this Rock-type Bergmite? Obviously, our Pokemon team is pretty fast right now. We're running a decent bit of speed. The only Pokemon we have that's particularly slow is Kricketot. And I don't know if it's slow enough to make real use of this. Okay, I give it a little bit of thought. I had a little bit of thinking right there. I'm going to start by just going for a Breaking Swipe and trying to lower this thing's attack. And we're going to just try and stall some turns. Ideally, Draxus stays in here and is fine and can you know, do what it needs to do. But we could maybe Parting Shot out as well if it starts using special moves. We could try and swap into our Grassy Terrain setting up Luminance and put it to sleep while the dimensions are twisted. And we could see how that goes. So we'll go for a Breaking Swipe. Stealth Rock first. Okay. Okay. Breaking Swipe was fine, though. We lowered the attack, which is nice. Boulder Hurl. Pretty spooky, but still fine. Still fine. We are also... Did we just go first? No. Okay. All right. I was going to say. I was losing my mind for a second, and I was like, did we? But no. This thing does have its attack lowered. I'm going to go to Luminance. Also, because we have a nice typing here, we'll get our recovery. I'm going to go for the Grass Whistle, just so we can stall some turns. So we'll go for Grass Whistle. Okay, good, good. He goes to sleep. We're going to get a little bit of recovery. They're also going to get a bit of recovery. That's fine. I'm going to go for... I mean, Renewal is resistive, so I don't get the HP back from this. So I'm actually going to go for a Leech Seed on this turn while it's still asleep. I'm hoping for a couple of turns of sleep here until the dimensions swap, is what I'm hoping for. Dimensions return to normal. Good. We can now Magical Leaf. We have the Grassy Terrain up. We will probably outspeed things. Interesting Berry to lower my damage a little bit. We'll probably outspeed whatever comes out next because they would be expecting me to be in a situation where I would have a... Mime isn't super slow, though. I was going to say they wouldn't have expected me to have taken out the next Pokemon so quickly. Well, they would have expected me to take it out quicker, sorry, so they would have a bunch of slow Pokemon ready for second, but Mr. Mime is pretty fast and also fully evolved, technically, which does make it a little bit scary. We do have a neutral Magical Leaf, and that's fine. I'm tempted to Grass Whistle, but I'm worried that it might have, like, Magic Bounce. I still think it's the correct play to go for a Grass Whistle, so we'll go for it. It does outspeed, and it does KO with Checkmate. Damn. Special attack rose sharply. Uh-oh. We're gonna go to Wellesley because it is a psychic type. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be very bad. We have no reason not to fake out. Lower the damage of the dark type move with its Culber Berry. That's fine. Given that it is going to probably outspeed me, I'm gonna nuzzle so that we can purge on the following turn. Song of Silence. Okay. Oh. I was hoping we could maybe live a hit. We're probably just screwed. We're probably screwed here with that doubled special attack, Mr. Mime. I don't see this going well. Maybe we can get a Glisten off and boost our special defense enough to where we can survive. I don't really have too many options other than using my super potion here. So we'll go for it, and we'll see if that's enough. At this amount of HP, another Glisten will maybe let us live, so I'm gonna go for another Glisten, because I feel like we have to, like, sweep, basically. We don't have multiple super potions that we can use in this fight, so this is all we have, meaning we go for our strongest move, which is, in fact, Swift, and we see if we can one-shot this and get a special attack boost. We don't get close to one-shotting. Okay. Okay. Mr. Mime does genuinely have pretty good special defense, so it's not like I was really expecting that to work. I was just thinking that was probably the only way we had of making this work. So, yeah. I mean, we're gonna lose this. We can come back in with a fresh mindset, a different lead, maybe. Maybe a way to deal with Trick Room. At the moment, I actually have no idea what we're gonna do about Mr. Mime. This thing is actually terrifying. I don't really have any plan for this thing. Obviously, Gaga isn't going to live, but maybe we could use Sweet Nothings on it. But yeah, that is a lot of special attack. Okay, all right, we're going to have to, like, actually put some thought into this. Don't say I have a skill issue. What the? Breloom. 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 Okay, we're going to try leading with Comet. We could also level up a little bit. I mean, Kricketot could do with a little bit of XP. You know what? I'll level everyone a little bit. I have not seen Sinistea around here. Hallelujah. Level 19. Level 19. Okay. Finally, Kricketot gets to evolve. I don't remember what level it actually normally evolves at. It's either like 10 or 14, but finally we get ourselves a Kricketoon, which honestly might be the power that we need, to be honest. This could have a big impact. Okay. Still Bug Sound. Hopefully it still has the same abilities. Also gets to learn Sing. Is Sing boosted in accuracy? It is. Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. I feel like keeping Sweet Nothings is probably more important than keeping String Shot. So I'm gonna get rid of String Shot. Maybe I'll regret that. We'll see. I did also put Hawk on the team, which I'm also going to level up a little bit, just so we can try it out, as Wellesley wasn't super useful last time. But we have Scope Lens on the Kricketoon, which maybe doesn't matter too much, but we also have Virtuoso, which does still power up sound-type moves. Okay, so we still have the same ability, which is very, very, very important. Okay, good, 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 good. Hawk wants to learn Arrow Flurry. Grass? Steel. Launches a volley of arrows at the target in rapid succession, hits 2 to 5 times in a row. Only base 20 power, not 25, so weaker than the sound type alternative. Probably because the ability I have also buffs it, so they nerfed it a little bit to keep it in line, which is rude. But we have Barrage, we have Cupid's Arrow, we have Focus Energy, and we have Lucky Chant. I guess we're getting rid of Lucky Chant for that. I was hoping we would get Grass-type Stab on Hawk, so that I could, you know, use it. Was kind of what I was hoping, you know, on the grassy terrain that we would set up with the Skitty. That was why I was leveling it. But if it just learned a move at 20 and it still doesn't have a grass type move, I think I am going to go ahead and take the Fake Out using Wellesley back with us, as Fake Out does damage to Mr. Mime if that is the Pokemon that's causing the issue. I do want that EXP share back. We do have other alternatives that I could level, but it's just a lot to level right now. So I'm going to stick with this team, and we're just going to get them appropriately leveled. Shuffle some items around, like the Shell Bell being on probably something more like Comet would make more sense, I think. And we'll see if we can make this team work. Okay, the team is leveled. I have a horrible plan that is definitely not going to work, but if it does work, it would be funny. So I'm going to lead with Wellesley. We're going to go for a fake out. We're going to go for a nuzzle. We're going to get something paralyzed. Once something is paralyzed, I want to immediately swap to Cricketoon, and I want to spam Sweet Nothings and try and cripple it. Like, just make it so that it can't do any damage. And then I want to set up with Comet and Destroy. Any special attacker will do. The Mr. Mime might be too strong, but it might be what we try and do it against, so I probably shouldn't lead with, this actually. I should lead with Luminance to try and Grass Whistle the starting Rock Boy. Because Luminance also isn't super useful against Mr. Mime. And then we can go ahead, we can paralyze Mr. Mime. We need to try and not let it get a KO with its move, I think. Because I think when it KOs with a move, it gets like a Fell Stinger boost. So as long as we don't let it get a KO and we keep it in check, we could maybe let Comet go ahead and tear through the team. It might be worth slapping the Hyper Potions onto our belt instead of the Paralyze heals. That way we can run ourselves a Super Potion and a Hyper Potion if we get taken down super low. And we'll try and get a sweep going with this Starmie. It's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough. I don't imagine that this will be an easy sweep. Okay, now the wild Pokemon show up. While I train, I can step 50 tiles without an encounter. When I'm not training, boom, everywhere. But let's give this another go and see if we can maybe get a sweep going. It'd be very funny if it changed his lead. Okay, Stillberg might lead. Let's go ahead and slap things back to a more normal pace. And let's start off with a Grass Whistle. Okay, Bite is scary because that could actually flinch us, which would be really bad. We're going to go for the Grass Whistle. We're going to go for the Leech Seed the same way as we did before because I do want that recovery going. As at the end of the day, we're trying to stall a few turns. Mr. Mime did outspeed us, so Trick Room could be useful, but I'll go for Magical Leaf this turn so we can get through the Berry. I imagine it'll just do a decent amount of damage. Oh, it actually KO'd. Huh. I didn't think we were going to KO. So Darumaka comes out, whereas before, instead, the Mr. Mime came out. Now, is this a physical or special attacker is something that we need to work out. I'm gonna go for just the regular resisted Magical Leaf, because it's still in grassy terrain. It should still do, like, a third, I imagine. Mossy Punch, Grass Gem boosted, KOs us, because it is neutral, and we've given him the grassy terrain. It's a bit spooky. It is a bit spooky. However, I'm going to go to Wellesley here. I mean, it did say punch. So this is definitely a physical attacker. And setting up on a grass type would be silly when my plan is to try and set up a rock type Pokemon. Okay. New plan. We go to Gaga. Newly evolved. Ready to go ahead and Struggle Bug. Aussie Punch. Resisted. Doesn't do too much. Does not take as much damage from that as I was hoping, actually. But the grassy terrain is gone. I'm going to see if we can Land Sing, because it would just be helpful. Okay, we do Land Sing. I'm curious if they'll swap out. I'm tempted to go and try and start setting up, but also I know this is a physical attacker, so it just wouldn't be smart. So we'll just go for the Struggle Bug. No swap out on their side. We do get a crit with our Scope Lens. I did reshuffle the items around. We'll Struggle Bug again. That's a Super Potion down, which is valuable. That is a valuable turn. I do like that. Darumaka's still asleep. No extra potion used, but that sleep was huge. That got us a lot of turns, actually. He goes into Graveler, which is Ghost and Rock. Obviously, this is horrible for us. I don't know who is faster between Cricketoon and Graveler normally, but given that it's kind of, you know, up in the air at the moment, I think I'm just going to see if we can maybe get a Sing. We do Land Sing. We did outspeed. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to swap to Draxus here so that we can go for a super effective bite. First turn, Wake Up. Damn. Maybe second turn. We outsped, so yeah, second turn. Still, damn. We'll go for the bite, though. We should outspeed. Flinch chances there. Ice Tomb is not a move I was expecting. Is what it is. From here, we have a couple of options. We could go to Comet. and we could see how it goes. If we maybe try and set up a glisten or two. But again, this is not a special attacker, so we wouldn't get the most out of it. I guess we go to Wellesley to finish it. No reason not to fake out. Just gonna KO it without us risking a random outspeed. I imagine we'd have been fine, but still. Greedent comes in. Ice and normal. I'm gonna nuzzle. I feel like it just makes sense to. Goes for a stockpile. Okay. I mean, we have Purge. This is my first time to see if Purge actually cleanses the status, or if it's just double damage. It is just double damage. That's pretty strong. That's a pretty strong move in conjunction with Nuzzle. That's really good. And then Mr.Mime. Now, Mr.Mime is one of the only Pokemon left. It might be the only Pokemon left. So I kind of want to go straight to Gaga. I know that this is going to outspeed us, and if it KOs us with that move, it gets the big special attack increase. So I want to go to Gaga, and I want to try and cripple it early. I want to cripple this thing. Sound Barrier. That did a lot. If I Hyper Potion, I should live. And then I could try and Sing, and all of those turns where we have Sing active, I can go for Sweet Nothings and try and cripple it. I'm good at Hyper Potion the Kricketune. We're going to see how Kricketune does. Goes for Checkmate, trying to finish us and get its silly move. We're going to go for Sing. Please don't miss. That's a problem. That was the one turn we really needed to go well. I guess we're Super Potioning and we hope it goes for Checkmate and does less. Okay, once again, we're going for Sing. Sound Barrier takes us out with a crit. Both of my heals were just wasted. That is incredibly unfortunate. The new plan is Fake Out. Fake Out does a good amount of damage. We can get the flinch guaranteed. We basically have to sacrifice Eevee. And we might have to sacrifice our other Pokemon as well. That's just how it's going to be. Realistically, there is no reason for us to do anything other than go for a quick attack flinch. We do live, though. Eevee actually being very, very useful there. It does put it into Fake Out range. I love how my plan revolved around using Comet, and that ended up with me literally not using Comet at all, because I got too focused on the plan. And then the last Pokemon is a shiny Bronzor, Grass and Rock type. We could go for Purge for just a lot of damage, or we could go for Nuzzle. I don't know what this thing can do, so I feel like it's safer to just Nuzzle it and cripple it a little bit. Fairly effective, but the paralysis is the important part. Goes for Pepper Burst, which is fine. We are weak to Grass on this, which is really tragic. We are forced to go for Mineral Wave to do damage. Good damage, though, to be fair. Citrus Berry is unfortunate. Pepper Burst doesn't KO us in one. We need this Mineral Wave to KO on a high roll, or we need it to get fully paralyzed. Oh! That makes up for the Sing Miss. That makes up for the Sing Miss. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, but we did make it through. It was not pretty. The strategy did, in fact, not work, because both of my heals were wasted on that Kricketune, and that completely ruined my plan. I went into it with a good mindset and a strategy, and it all fell apart, but we still pulled out the win, and that is good. That's good. We take those. I said, no! Angelo is a madman, and I'm responsible for creating that madman. I will not let anyone else know what I told him. I will go to the grave before I breathe a word of my sins to another living soul. Okay, so you tell it to the spirits tell it to us. We're good. Shame, the guilt, it's all my fault. Master, Angelo was not your fault. No one in this academy thinks that Angelo was your fault. Everyone believed that he was too far gone before he even stepped foot in the academy. I can't keep punishing yourself for actions that were beyond your control. I don't know why I'm making Artie have this, like, silly kid voice, like, haha, all is good in the world. I know this feeling too well. I was compelled to do reprehensible acts while under the control of the government. I know what feeling helpless and not having free will is like. You don't understand. I gave Angelo the information and the tool he needed to realize his despicable vision. I shared this knowledge with him in the interest of advancing each other's intellectual curiosity. I realized too late that he didn't want to improve himself spiritually at all. He wanted to learn how to enslave the gods. And he's mad enough that I believe he is actually capable of following through on hunting down all of the sigils so he can eventually summon the gods and enslave them. Kind of impressive. Headmaster, if you truly believe that there is someone to blame that must be laid at your feet, or some blame that must be laid at your feet for what Angelo has become, then you must help undo the damage. You're the only one that can help us know what Angelo might do next. He hasn't been seen or heard from in years. No one has any leads. All we know is his followers are in possession of one of the sigils. They call themselves the Ethereal Guild now, and we need to know how to track down these other sigils before they do. I know Angelo has one of the sigils because I'm the one that led him to it in the first place. After the Great Fracture, he had reason to believe that the sigils would naturally gravitate back to the first region, the place where they were first conceived by Arceus. I knew one of them, the Antimatter Sigil, would eventually manifest back in the Temple of Giratina. The Origin cult that were in his service of Giratina had long since abandoned his temple, so the sigil would be unguarded. Sure enough, Angelo took a brief leave from the academy to recover the sigil, and the madman actually did it. Rather than letting the sigil persist in that place that is linked to its progenitor, he stole it for himself, and he wished to use it to assert his will. And that's when I realized that his thought experiments we frequently debated about were not merely theoretical exercises, but him discussing the merits of his plan. Like a fool, I helped him do it. And that's when I realized that he needed to be dismissed from the academy. The Antimatter Sigil. That's the one that I must have temporarily relieved the Ethereal Guild of. It was then stolen back from me in Europa Cave. Headmaster, I have another question. You mentioned that Angelo had explained to you his plan. What did he say he would do next? He understood that the sigils were capable of interacting with the ley lines in some way. The Ethereal Guild had infiltrated the ley line mining operations of the Epoch Corporation north of Lyra City. They didn't have the sigil there, though. They seemed more concerned with just enriching themselves by siphoning some of the ley line energy. However, if the Ethereal Guild has infiltrated the Epoch Corporation, maybe it's worth getting the Epoch Corporation on our side. If we alert them, they might join us. I'm just skimming over this now. Next, he's after the sigils. Do you know where the sigils are? Possibly related to the mining corporation. Go. It could be a lot quicker. It could be a lot quicker. I do have some issues with this game, I will admit. So far, I'm feeling like it's a game that's definitely not meant to be played in a recording mindset. It's definitely meant to be played on your own time when you have 18 hours free, which is an issue that I am facing, but it's fine. Epoch Corporation's headquarters are now in Orion City. That's a place in Pokemon Insurgence, isn't it? Then it's settled. We should go onwards to Orion City. Carlos, I shall heal you up in case you want to linger here for a bit longer. Okay, we are going to go to the entrance by the teleporter, and we are going to go and see... Oh, chapter 3 completed. Okay, that was actually a quicker chapter than I thought. I am surprised at that. That does mean that the time spent here was much more worth it. I didn't think the chapter would be over so soon. That's good. That's good. Maybe I'll take my complaint back. I may have been too quick. We should go and hand in that side quest, though. Chapter 4, the Epoch Corporation. Having read through Tomes of the Creation Myth, the Time Matrix, and the Origin... This is just a recap of what we just did, so I'm not going to read that. We are going to teleport back to the entrance now that we've done the Spirit, and we're going to see what our Spirit reward is before we wrap things up. We cleansed the Academy of the evil spirit that stalks it. Yes, it was an Esper possessed by a spirit. That poor Pokemon. I hoped that the Pokemon would be spared. That vile spirit was intent on claiming the soul of the Pokemon as well when it passed on. Regrettable, but ultimately understandable. I shall pray for the Pokemon soul that it seeks eternal rest. I definitely could have caught it, I think. I never tried for a Pokeball, and it didn't give me, like, any prompt saying, hey, you can't catch this Pokemon. So I probably could have caught it, but still, it's fine. A Dusk Stone, 3 Hyper Repels, a Calcium, and some money. Can I use the Dusk Stone on anyone? It's worth checking every time. No. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. It's always worth checking just in case any of our Dark types evolve by Darkstone now. You never know. So, alright. For right now, that is where we're going to wrap things up. That is Chapter 3 completed. That is a big chunk of lore out of the way. you guys have enjoyed, leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado,